Yo, what's good, boys and girls, all trappers around the world? It's your main man, Irvin Michael. This is I'm Good Radio. Thank you guys for tuning in. It is March the 4th, 2020. And guess what? I got a special guest in the building today. My boy, Michael. What's good?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. It's kind of cold here in Dallas. How's Atlanta?
It's wet, rainy, cold, but we're getting through it. You know, it's not about how bad the weather is. It's your perception.
That is true. I actually have a hoodie on. I'm actually in my place because Dallas have this weird thing called on-car. I think I'm saying it correct. And it charges you half of your bill. So I'm like, I'm not putting no electric. I'm not doing no heat. I'm going tough with it out.
Yeah, bro. It's everywhere is pretty much you got to pay for something. You know, we always joke around in Midtown. You got to pay to breathe. I mean, you got to pay to park down there. You got to pay for everything down there. But you know, location. You know how it is. Location is wherever you live. Location's a big deal. You know, if you live in a big city, you're probably gonna pay for the small things that that you have to deal with.
That is true because I live in uptown Dallas, and it's really weird because it's extremely expensive, and on top of that is the margin when it comes to financials with people. Like, there's a lot of homeless people here in Dallas. I was shocked when I first saw that. I was like, oh my God. But gas is cheap. Gas is like $1.70 here. And I heard somebody talking about, gas.
That's not bad.
What you say?
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's like $2.85 here.
Woo! I'm happy to get away from that. But hey, Michael, for the people who are watching who've never heard of you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, no, of course. And again, Irvin, I appreciate you having me on. It's definitely an honor. For those that don't know me, my name is Michael Chiara, 24 years old. I am a fitness coach here in Atlanta. I work with online and in-person clients. Working online gives me the ability to scale. You know, one thing about a personal trainer, a lot of people have a misconception is you only have 24 hours in a day. You can only train so many people. So working with clients online and in person has given me the ability to still do what I love, yet at the same time, free up my schedule to take care of other things in my life, whether that's spending time with my family, doing other hobbies that I like to do. So that's been a, blessing in itself. I am a published author of a book called The Longevity Game, talking about really building up a strong foundation around your health and fitness, and soon to be launching my own podcast as well with one of my friends who's in the finance industry called The Fundamental Foundation, where we break down fitness and finance. We put them together. And again, going back to that same foundational concept of figuring out how you can make sure when you start with your fitness journey, you can make sure in 2, 3, 4 years you're still going strong and not quitting. And same thing with your finance. So again, it's all about helping people. Zig Ziglar has that quote: if you help enough people get what they want, you get every single thing that you want. And I truly believe that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm called to do.
And by the way, his book is really amazing. I did an air horn. I know you didn't hear it.
That.
I'm doing another air horn. His book is really good, guys. You don't understand. You actually did a challenge in the beginning of the year. I will admit I failed the challenge probably day one. I actually even told you the part where I was going to fail it. I was like, this one might be tough for me. But can you explain the challenge that you get? Can you explain the challenge that you did for your viewers?
Yeah, so in November of last year, 2019, there were a lot of things going through my head. I had a very successful year when it comes to impacting people, but there was still something missing. And I felt like it was a lot deeper than just helping people. I felt like there was something on a deeper level that I have not yet accessed. And for me, I believe that I'm here to help people, but at the same time, on a deeper level than just the surface level, whether it's, your body change, your mindset change. Like, I'm trying to change people's lives. So started thinking about a couple of things of what I can do at the beginning of the year to really, really help people have strong momentum for 2020. So I created this thing called the 90 Days of Superhuman Challenge, which basically helps you get rid of all of your negative vices, bad habits, and addictions that you struggle with. You know, a lot of us have addictions that we have, whether it's alcohol or drugs or playing too many video games or watching Netflix or watching too much porn. Like, there's so many different things that we do that slow us down. And if we can convert that energy that we put to those bad habits and vices and convert it and transmute it to our goals, our dreams, and our mission, you know, think about how much more success that, you know, we'll have. So what I did was I started asking around, you know, a couple people who were close to me, what are some of your vices? What are some of the things that you struggle with? And there were so many things that people struggle with. So I came up with 7 things that people can do on a consistent basis for 90 straight days with no messing up that will help them elevate their 2020. So really quick, how the challenge works is there's 7 things. There is wake up at 6 a.m. every single day, even on the weekends, which has been very tough. 2-minute cold shower by 7 a.m. If you've never taken a cold shower, do one today. I'm telling you, once you take the cold shower, you'll never want another energy drink, never want another coffee again. Your energy levels will skyrocket through the roof. The third thing is no alcohol unless it's for like religious purposes or, you know, that's just your family culture. You guys have like wine once a week. That's fine. The fourth thing is no fat. So again, transmuting your sexual energy from that to your goals. Fifth, exercise 30 minutes every single day. It doesn't have to be weights. It could be go for a walk, go for a hike, go play sports. The sixth thing is listen to a podcast. It's got to be 20 minutes. You know, doesn't have to be too long. You know, I think a lot of people struggle with, you know, well, if I listen to a podcast, does it have to be about entrepreneurship? Does it have to be about, you know, business? It can literally be about anything that you want. And then number 7 is no processed sugar, which if you look at a nutrition label and it says added sugars, just stay away from those. You look at, you know, bad sugar in general, candy, sweets, soda, you know, Red Bull, those type of sugars, those are the sugars you want to stay away from. So 55 people started the challenge officially. We are on day 59 today, and there are 3 people left that have been going strong since day 1. You know, and you hear that and you think, how is it humanly possible you create this challenge and you know for a fact only, you know, 3 people are going to last after day 60? And to be honest with you, Irvin, I knew only about 3 to 5 people were going to be still going from day 1. And the reason why is because if you look at war, for example, if 100 men go to war, 10 of them shouldn't even be there. 80 of them are targets, 9 of them do a little bit of work, and 1 is a warrior. So that's how I looked at this challenge. There are going to be a lot of people who are down because it sounds like a lot of growth, sounds like a lot of change, that they're going to have a lot of transformation. But who's really going to commit and who's really going to promise themselves they're going to do this? Anytime you promise and commit yourself to something and you break that promise, you automatically lose trust and respect within yourself. So knowing that only 3 people are left makes it exciting. You know, if everybody was still going strong, it wouldn't be fun. People would realize it's really not that challenging. But I'll be the first to say it's been a ride for sure. But it's been a lot of growth over the last 59 days.
You were dropping some bars right there. I had an air horn a few times. Oh my goodness, Mike, you should get into rapping.
There you go. Dude, I you know, that's one thing I've tried with a couple of friends. It definitely needs some work though.
You know something funny? When I saw the challenge, I was like, okay, I could do that. I'm not going to tell everyone what was the reason what I said, oh, I'm not even going to be able to do this challenge. I told you, I was like, this is not going to work. But when you hear the challenge, I do the cold shower. Like, I took certain things from the challenge and I applied it to my life. Now, when you said the 30-minute workout, okay, let's say someone who's busy throughout the day, feel like they're tired and their excuse is, I don't have time in the day to work out, or I'm not motivated to work out. What is something you would tell that person?
So I think it goes back to everyone has a reason for change, and anyone who is overweight, anyone who is skinny, they want to gain weight, anyone who just lacks health, they want to change it, regardless if they don't think they want to change it, they want to change it. You know, you weren't put here to suffer. You weren't put here to be overweight. You weren't put here to be the skinny kid. So you got to go back and figure out a real strong, deep reason on why you want change. You know, if you look at somebody who is 50 years old, you know, they don't work out, they don't eat clean, they don't get enough sleep, and they've been doing that for so long, they've been doing that in their entire life, it's very hard to spark something in their mind, because think about it, they've been doing something consistently for 50 years. You know, that's a pattern that they've adjusted to. So if you go up to them and say, hey, you know, you got to figure out a strong why for yourself, because, you know, in the next, 5, 10, 15 years, if you keep going this rate, you know, you're gonna probably die. They're not gonna relate to that, because there's actually a stat, and I actually talk about this in my book. 9 out of 10 people, if they're on their deathbed, like they've got only a couple of months left to live, but the doctor is telling them, hey, you've got to go work out, you've got to go eat clean, like this is literally your life on the line, 9 out of 10 people will not make any sort of change. So when I hear that, and when you hear that, and when the audience hears that, they think, wow, like it actually is kind of hard to change people when it comes to their health and fitness. Because if 9 out of 10 people are on their deathbed and they don't make any change, you have to sit there and think, how many people out here think like that? You know, so if I were to say, it all starts with their pain, right? What do they really struggle with, right? So let's just say somebody, they're overweight, they eat horribly, right? They're going out to eat every single night, they snack at night, they're eating ice cream, they're eating candy, you know, they can't slow down the fast food. You know, you see those type of people all the time. Those type of people, it's what they tolerate, right? You don't get in life what you want, you get what you tolerate. But sometimes that 1 out of 10, they know they're in the doctor now. They know they have diabetes now. They know they're leaning towards cancer. 1 out of 10 will say, you know what? This is not what I'm here for. This is not how I'm supposed to represent my family. This is not the type of leadership my kids deserve. Those type of pains is what you need to match with your actions. Because if you have a family and you're having all those bad habits, think about what that's doing to your kids. Think about that's what's doing to just your family structure. It's not healthy. So figuring out that sort of change is what's going to get you to take different action.
Yeah. And I noticed I had 2 aunts who passed away from cancer, back to back, actually. And when you look at the way they had the intake of food, the food that they were eating, and you're like, if you know you're sick, why are you eating this? One of them, she actually kind of made a transition and change. It was a little bit too late. You know, she was in that final stage. Really, really interesting. My girlfriend, she works at a cancer hospital, and she actually gave up meat. And she works out now and all that other good stuff. But I was like, how you stop eating meat? You know, I'm like, how you did that? And she said that was the best thing she has ever done, was stop eating meat. She said she feels better. She moves better and all this other stuff. And, you know, people say, oh, you know, you can eat meat and do this, you can eat this, but you have to understand your body, right? As a health fitness, you would say, your body, you need to know what your body can tolerate, what your body cannot tolerate. But we all know processed sugar is something our bodies cannot tolerate. So,
right. No, exactly.
So when you have someone say these things, you're like, but can't, it's another thing. We were talking about this before we got on here. Can you say you could associate someone's lifestyle with the income they make? Is there a difference that you see versus people who have a better lifestyle, they have a better income, versus people who have a poorer lifestyle, they have a relatively smaller income versus those other people? Do you see that in the field that you work in? And I don't want you to call no one out. I don't want you to call no one out. make it seem like you're saying, oh no, you know, Michael's saying this about people. No, we're trying to share some insight on people traits. That makes sense? Because the way you carry yourself says a lot about how you view yourself. That's correct?
Absolutely. You know, and one thing that I've always preached is success, money, fame, whatever you want in life means absolutely nothing without your health. Correct. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much fame you have, how much clout, right? How much all of that you have, how great your family life is. If your health is off, you're dead. Like, you literally are dead, because if you can't go play ball with your kid, if you can't, you know, have fun on the beach with your family, if you can't go to an amusement park because you can't fit in the seat because you're overweight, no money in the world, no fame in the world, no clout in the world is going to make you fulfilled with that type of situation. So I'll start there, you know, knowing that if those type of situations are happening in your life, something's got to change. But here's my opinion. I truly believe if you get your health and fitness right, and you get your body right, and you get your overall feeling right of how your body feels, your energy, yeah, you're going to make more money, no doubt. You know, you're going to have more success, but you know, it goes back and forth with the first thing I said. We all deal with demons, right? And this is very deep, but I think it's necessary to talk about this, because when it comes to somebody's life, and again, I'm a fitness coach. That's what I do. I'm not a life coach. I cannot stand when people are like, oh, you're kind of like a life coach. Like, no, like, I am a fitness coach. This is my expertise. This is what I go for. This is what I'm qualified to speak about. I truly believe people have, again, bad vices, negative habits, and addictions that they struggle with, which lead into the talk of having demons, right? So, you know, as a 21 to 26-year-old kid, right, you know, we're going through school, we're about to get our first job. What happens, right? We turn 21, we're able to drink, and, you know,
and now smoke.
We don't have jobs.
Now you're able to smoke.
Yeah, look,
now,
we don't.
21.
Correct. So we're 21 years old. We're like still in school. We're learning who we are. We don't really have power, right? We don't have jobs. We don't have any assets. We don't have businesses. We, for the most part, an average 21-year-old, they have absolutely nothing. So what ends up happening is once they hit that 24, 25, 26 mark, they get jobs, they get businesses, they start buying, you know, real estate, whatever it may be, right? Everyone's different. Everyone has a different timeline. But once you get to that age, now you start gaining some power, right? Because now you have a business, you're making money, you're self-sufficient. You know, you don't have to ask mom for money anymore, right? You're becoming a man. So when you find your power, you find your darkness. Because if you think about it, Irvin, we talked about it even before we hopped on, you know, just because you own a business doesn't mean that you're successful. You know, you're going to go through struggles, you're going to go through trials, you're going to go through tribulations. So once you find your power, you're going to find that darkness. And when you go through that darkness, you'll find your demons. And your demons, again, are what we talked about: the negative habits, the too much alcohol, the drugs, the porn, hooking up with random people. Those are demons, you know, and those demons are the reason why most people get stuck, or they plateau, or they decline, because those demons literally take over their life. But if you can slay those demons and you can starve those demons, meaning take away those bad vices, take away those negative addictions, you'll find your ethics. When you find your ethics, that's when you start living more of a purposeful life. That's when you start feeling what real fulfillment feels like. You know, Tony Robbins talks about it. He says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And for me, when I heard that, I was thinking, doesn't matter how much money I have, doesn't matter how great everything else is, if I'm still dealing with real vices, real addictions, real bad habits, I'm never going to really feel fulfilled. So that's another reason why I started the 90-day challenge. Again, I went really, really deep into figuring out why are people doing what they're doing, and why are there so many people that have so much talent, they can't get to that next level, or they're stuck. Like, I always look at it as, like, for me, like, I truly believe I'm disciplined, and I have a tendency of learning more about how discipline works because I just understand what it does for people. I always think about it, like, I look at other people, I'm like, damn, if I had that intelligence of business and marketing and how to win in business, I would be 10 times further ahead. But then I also look at it as, damn, if they had my discipline they would be 10 times ahead, you know, but you can't teach discipline. You can't teach character, but you could always teach skills. You can always teach how to market yourself. So when it comes to that concept, man, it's going back to, you know, somebody who's successful in business and they struggle with their health. And like, again, Ty Lopez talks about it, you know, health, wealth, love. You have all three of those will equal happiness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which again, like, and I'm not saying I'm an expert on that. You know, I'm a single guy, right? I believe my business does well. You know, I'm not, you know, a millionaire by any means, but I truly believe I'm making the right steps in entrepreneurship. My health's on point, you know, really focusing on that, making sure that I get everything that I need into my body, and obviously exercise and sleep as well. But I am still single, right? And there are things I have struggles with. Like, I'm not perfect, but that's, you know, I look at what successful people do, and the right successful people who have all these things lined up for themselves, and I look at them and I'm like thinking, all right, this is what I want to mold myself after. I don't want to become them because I want to become my own person, but I look at that and I say, this is something that I want.
Ladies, you heard that, right? He's single. He's in Atlanta. If you in South Carolina, you could drive to come see him. Okay, you in North Carolina, you could drive. Florida, Tennessee, surrounding states, you could come see Michael for some personal training. Okay, but no,
that I'm down with. Yeah.
But what motivated you? What got you to say, I want to be a personal trainer? What was the change in your life? Say, I want to do this. I want to focus on fitness.
Yeah. So when I was 16, 17 years old, I was playing baseball in high school. Goal was always to go play professionally. And unfortunately, through an injury and through discovering entrepreneurship literally at the same time, I had to make a choice of what I really wanted to do, because, you know, you play a sport for your entire life. You know, you think you're going to become, you know, the next Babe Ruth.
I thought it was going to be Michael Jordan.
Play basketball, you're going to yeah, no, exactly. You
and
always
I'm 5'6".
think that, but, you know, yeah, there you go. You know, but, you know, you have to also have reality come into play and understand, all right, well, this sounds really good and this looks good, but does it look and sound good in 2 to 3 years? So I had to make a decision after getting injured and discovering entrepreneurship at the same time. You know, I had to make a decision, and I decided to go the entrepreneur route. Didn't play my senior year of baseball, wanted to go play college, and, you know, ended up getting started in my first business venture, which was a health and wellness company, which then from there learned a lot about how my body works through my own transformation. I thought, you know, if I could transform my body, why not transform other people's bodies and get paid for it? And that was the route that I took. And, you know, over the last 5 to 6 years, it's been a blessing. You know, there's been a lot of struggles, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. I don't think people understand what it really takes to become a personal trainer that really does care and really does focus on people's not only health, but their entire life. You know, I don't want people coming into a session, you know, depressed, right? You got to figure out a way to make sure you can change people in that way as well. Again, we're fitness coaches. We're not therapists, but at the same time, you got to be there for people, because sometimes all it takes is somebody venting to you, and that may be enough for them to get over what they're, you know, going through. So it's been a blessing, man. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. It's early mornings, late nights, working on Saturdays, working on the weekends like usual, you know. So, but it's a lot of fun, and that's what means the most. You know, it's fulfilling, and that's really what it comes down to. But, you know, again, when it comes to career choice, you gotta love what you do. That's the main focus.
It's not work if you love it. And even though you say you're not a life coach, but I would say, far as if you, I could say that you read enough books, listen to enough life coaches, listen to enough people to say, and even examples of ourselves, when you're doing things that you actually truly love, it don't matter if 100,000 people is watching you or 0 people are watching you. You're going to enjoy it. Last thing I want to ask you right quick is, because I know you have a busy schedule, what is one of the mistakes that you learned, and what is one of the mistakes that you learned, and one of the things that you took from that mistake and you just pushed forward?
I think not going with my own intuition and having other people's opinions or decisions lead me in a direction that maybe I didn't want to go. For example, for a very long time, I had to pretend to be someone I'm not just to win people over, whether that was business, whether that was women, and that was exhausting. That's the most exhausting thing you can do, is pretend to be somebody you're not. And it took me a long time to realize that, because sometimes what happens is you're pretending to be somebody you're not, and you're almost manipulating people. You're manipulating people when it comes to business. You're manipulating women, and it's not the right way to do it. I don't like that phrase of, just be yourself. It's kind of like a corny phrase, but that's what it's come down to. If you don't accept me and you don't, value me, it's like, that's your loss. I know I have value to provide. I know what I know, and I know, like, working with me or being around me, like, you're going to get good energy. You're going to get, hey, this guy's disciplined. This guy's, wanting more life. He's going to challenge you. He's always going to be real. He's always going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But those are the things that are going to make you grow. So I think my biggest mistake is not listening to my own intuition. The thing that I've learned most about that was, once I started listening to my own intuition, I started to access more of who I was as a person.
That's what's up. Mike, I just called you Mike. I call people, my middle name is Michael, so people call me Mike every now and then. Michael, where can people actually find you on social media so they can actually look at some of these 90-day challenges, these health and wellness tips that you provide? Are you on Facebook? I know you're on Instagram. Just give us some of your social links.
Yeah, so Facebook, Michael Chiara, LinkedIn, same thing. And then Instagram is Michael_Chiara. If you guys are interested in anything, my book is in my bio as well on Amazon. If you want to check that out, $10. And those are the social media platforms that I'm on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. Let me know if there's any questions you have on health, any questions on fitness. Even if you want to partake in the 90-day challenge, I tell people, even though a lot of us started back in January, it's always open for anybody to just go and start. If you have any questions on that, let me know. I can definitely answer those for you guys. But Irvin, I appreciate you having me on, man. It was definitely an honor. And I'll definitely be talking to you soon.
Hey, you got to come back, man. This was a great interview. Hey, you did most of the talking.
Yes.
You did most of it.
Hey, bro. And I appreciate that, man.
Hey, guys. That was Michael. This was I'm Good Radio. I'm about to let him get going. He has a busy schedule. Thank you for coming in. Hey, guys. You know it is. Peace.